Coming up on UI7 News, protests over an ICE official visiting an Illini Republicans event.
Then, campus planners talk about a memorial dedicated to missing U of I scholar Ying Zhang.
And later, flu shots are being given to students on campus for free, right in time for the cold weather.
This edition of UI7 News starts right now.
From the Richmond Journalism Teaching Studio at the University of Illinois campus, UI7 News, your U of I news source.
Good evening, Champaign-Urbana. I'm Phill Waters.
And I'm Hinna. Thanks for joining us. Some breaking news to report. A University of Illinois law professor has been investigated for claims of sexual harassment and misconduct. Illinois Public Media broke the story and obtained a report on the investigation. Law professor Jay Keeson was the subject of the report, but there were no definitive findings on sexual harassment or misconduct under university policy. However, according to a statement in the report, Keeson's actions certainly have made the working and teaching environment uncomfortable for a countless number of female colleagues and students. Keeson issued a statement through U of I spokeswoman Robin Kaler saying, "It was never my intention to offend anyone, but obviously I did. For that, I am truly sorry. I apologize. Since this is brought to my attention, I have become very careful to make sure that my words and deeds don't offend or cause discomfort to anyone going forward." Kaler also said that the university took quick steps to ensure these violations won't reoccur. Be sure to keep watching UI7 News for any updates to this story.
U of I students gathered outside Lincoln Hall to protest an immigration customs officer speaking at an Illini Republicans event. Immigration Customs Enforcement, also known as ICE, is the enforcer of the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. University students from many backgrounds came to the protest, chanting directly outside of the event's room. Students that later entered the building were stopped by Champaign police for disturbance. Protesters declined to comment when we asked for an interview. The protest ended with attendees walking through the protest crowd who were chanting, "Abolish ICE." University of Illinois soccer and track facilities are receiving a much-needed upgrade thanks to a $7 million donation from the Demersion family. Last Friday, the University of Illinois Athletic Department held a groundbreaking ceremony to celebrate the start of construction for Demersion Park. The park will be a state-of-the-art facility for both soccer and track and field. In addition to renovating the current soccer field, Demersion Park will provide an additional soccer field exclusively dedicated to practice. The project will also provide the teams with much-needed locker rooms and nutrition facilities. Construction of the soccer field will be completed in time for the 2019 season.
And now to another addition to campus. A beautiful garden has been planted and dedicated to the missing U of I scholar Ying Zhang, who was abducted in June 2017.
The belief that gardens can provide comfort and support when communities face challenges.
Along with members of the community, University of Illinois officials held the memorial ceremony last Thursday. The garden is on the corner of Goodwin Avenue, the location she was last seen before getting into a car driven by a fellow colleague, never to be seen again. Chancellor Robert Jones said this small gesture will make a big impact on the community in positive ways.
It's just a mixed bag of emotions, but very proud of the university and the community that would come together to do something so profound and so significant in the memory of someone that left us much too soon. That it assures that her memory will never be lost in this university.
The Chinese Students and Scholars Association banded together with the Master Gardeners of the university to complete this months-long project, headed by the association's president, Yulin Li.
I want to change the tragic into a joy part to an enjoyable part, and everyone passed by can enjoy for the garden for one moment. I think it's an honor. We really want to maintain this garden because Ying is a Chinese scholar. We think we have the responsibility to maintain it. We want to memorize for her. This is our job. This is our duty.
It has been a long year for a community in grieving, as well as a family. But Chief Communications Officer Robin Kaler shared how the garden brought a little bit of peace to Zhang's parents.
There actually were a couple of work days when they were planting things that they FaceTimed the family and got them images live as they were planting, and that meant quite a bit to them.
The investigation is ongoing. Campus officials are hoping that this garden will help heal a community that has been left with uncertainty and grief over her disappearance.
What a nice ceremony, and the weather, I think it was pretty nice that day as well.
You know, speaking of the weather, we're joined by our very own weatherman, Dylon Hopp, with a quick look at your first weather.
I mean, yeah, we're going to be seeing some colder weathers now. Those warm 80-degree October days, they're long done. Like, it's winter's here now, so it's pretty unfortunate.
Still to come on UI7 News, a look at a new position on the ballots this upcoming election.
And after that, a cool and free way to spend your Wednesdays.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Erica, what's up? How are you?
Addie, I'm so stressed right now.
Oh my gosh, what's wrong?
I have so many midterms next week.
Midterm
There's
season.
just so much going on. Yeah, midterm season.
The stress is
Hopefully.
real. You know what you should do?
Yeah. What?
You should watch GMI next Friday. It's all going to be about stress relieving tactics since it's midterm season right now. Can you believe it?
Tell me more.
Yes, I think we'll probably incorporate like a little bit of yoga, so like, you know, this type of stuff. And yep. There we go, yes. GMI is going to be amazing next week, and we're all going to walk out of the studio feeling so relaxed and so zen, so make sure you tune in.
If you want to feel zen, tune in.
Hello and welcome back. The 2018 midterm campaigns are in full swing for Champaign County voters. A new position will be on the ballot November 6th.
UI7 News' Joseph Longo caught up with the candidates vying to be the first ever Champaign County executive.
Mr. Holton is my dad.
Local Republican and current Champaign County Clerk Gordy Holton is once again in the middle of a high-profile election. He's been speaking to journalism students at the University of Illinois about how to vote, but this time he isn't up for re-election. Holton is running to be Champaign County's first ever executive.
I've been county clerk for 8 years. In that 8 years, we've used technology to reduce our headcount, reduce our expenses while expanding the services that we provide to Champaign County, and I think that's a useful template for how we're going to try and get things done as county executive.
Local voters approved of the county executive position as a November 2016 election referendum. Holton has been vying for the inaugural seat since August 2017, but he has a competitor in Darlene Clopel. Clopel, a first-time politician, entered the race over a year ago after fellow community members encouraged her to run. She has a background in community government, having spent 15 years as the Community Services Director of the Champaign County Regional Planning Commission.
So I've spent my life developing startups of various kinds, and so this will be a startup, so I'm familiar with how that works, and I bring those kind of change management skills. It's always difficult to make a change, and there's always resistance, so trying to make it work well so the county doesn't waste a lot of time on it.
Both candidates are running a three-point campaign. Clopel's advocating for a new county management plan, county jail reform, and an increase in citizen involvement. Holton is focused on reforming fiscal management and independent redistricting, as well as increasing economic development. The new county executive will take on the responsibilities of the current county administrator, as well as some of the county board chair, C. Pius Weeble. However, Pius isn't convinced at the end of the day that the new position will bring change.
It's not going to be a disaster, I don't think. But again, it's not going to make things that much better, I don't think.
For UI7 News, I'm Joseph Longo.
Make sure to tune in to the UI7 Special Election Night broadcast on November 6th. We'll have more on the Champaign County Executive and other local races.
While this day has been celebrated previously on campus with students and staff, this is the first time the university is acknowledging and collaborating with Indigenous communities. Charlene Teeters, Dean at the Institute of American Indian Arts, says it's a new day with a big change.
You know, it's a good day. You know, when he said it's a good day to be Indigenous, it's a good day, you know, because we're going to have more and more of our young people make it through a system that's been very hostile towards us.
The Native American and Indigenous Student Organization created a pension to change Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day, which went through the Illinois State Government, Board of Trustees, and then to Chancellor Jones for approval. Anna Seguchi, a student attendee, says it's about time.
I may not be Native, but we all share the same land, the same company, and as one of the speakers mentioned, Native people have been here, are here, and will be here in the future.
A sugar maple tree was planted on the South Quad to commemorate the progress made towards Native students.
Planting this tree here today kind of signifies the very first Indigenous Peoples Day, and it kind of signifies our contribution and our struggles here on campus.
An official plaque will also be constructed under the tree. As for future plans, the organizations will continue to host Lunch on Us and encourage students to make more of an effort to reach out to the Indigenous community.
We are resilient. We are Anishinaabe.
For UI7 News, I'm Dixie Lambacchio.
Be on the lookout for upcoming events with the Native American House this November as they celebrate Native American Heritage Month.
It's that time of the year again, Champaign. The yearly community tradition Made Fest returns for its 6th year last weekend. The 2018 Made Fest followed suit for its past year by bringing in arts, crafts, and food from all over the world. Located on Illinois and Goodwin, attendees enjoyed the autumn weather with hot food and drinks while visiting markets of quirky arts, apparel, and jewelry. If you didn't make it, no worries. The festival will return in September of 2019. The leaves are changing, temperatures cooling, and winter is coming. But what does that mean? It's flu season. UI7 Dylon's Hopp takes us to the Cranert Center where students can get flu shots.
This past Tuesday, Cranert Center for the Performing Arts hosted an unconventional program, flu shots for students.
So I heard about this through word of mouth. I knew that they were doing this all around campus, so I knew, it's that time of year again to get my flu shot, so I had to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I'd say definitely get it. It's definitely important to have. It doesn't just keep you healthy, but it keeps the campus healthy too.
With the flu season in full effect and the weather now cold, students are here at Cranert Center, provided by McKinley Health Center, to get free flu shots. So let's go ahead and do this.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you as well.
Stick, and you are done.
All right, thank you, ma'am. The line was long, as anyone with an iCard could get a free flu shot. Some people attended because they regretted not getting one last season.
Like last year I didn't get it. That was a mistake of mine. I was I had a bad flu, so this is a good thing.
Many getting the shot feel confident and proactive, and urge others on campus to also get vaccinated.
Definitely get it. It's important. There's no harm in getting it. There's only benefits.
I feel good. It was very easy.
For UI7 News, I'm Dylon Hopp.
For those interested in getting a free flu shot with your iCard, be sure to stop by the ARC until 7 p.m. today.
The University of Illinois offers a wide variety of resources for students to expand their interests and hobbies. For students with a passion for hands-on projects, the 3D printing lab is perfect. Located on the third instructional facility, the Maker Lab offers students the opportunity to learn about 3D printing and come away with something that they helped design. Businesses can also commission the lab to build small pieces like keychains or boxes with their business's logo on it. For many, having an at-home 3D printer is too expensive and too loud to be practical. The Maker Lab offers over a dozen top-of-the-line printers for use. If you're looking for a fun and unique place to host events or birthday parties, the Maker Lab also offers reservation slots for groups on their website. Fernaz Kabiri says that Free Print Wednesday is a great opportunity for students without printer access.
Especially since a lot of people don't really have their own 3D printers at home, this is a great opportunity to get like a first hands-on experience. The great thing about Free Print Wednesdays is that anything you print that's under an hour is free.
Every Wednesday, the lab allows students to come in, print, design, and take it home with you for free. The Maker Lab welcomes students with all levels of skill in 3D printing and employs a staff of lab monitors able to help beginners. Visit makerlab.illinois.edu for more information and all of its programs.
The Illinois State Police released the results of their alcohol raids from homecoming weekend. Saturday saw 14 total citations of alcohol purchase or possession by minors at various campus bars. The most citations were issued at Brothers Bar and Grill on 613 East Green Street. The purpose of the program is to curb underage alcohol consumption.
Still to come on UI7. Still to come on UI7, your entertainment report and sports.
And
we'll also have our weather forecast with Dylon Hopp, who joins us. Dylon?
Yeah, that's right, Hinna. Strange things are happening in the weather. Nothing new, but what to expect? I'll have your full update coming up after this break. Stay with us.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Erica, what's up? How are you?
Addie, I'm so stressed right now.
Oh my gosh, what's wrong?
I have so many midterms next week.
Midterm
There's
season.
Just so much going on. Yeah, midterm season.
The stress is
Close
real.
in.
You know what you should do?
Yeah. What?
You should watch GMI next Friday. It's all going to be about stress relieving tactics since it's midterm season right now. Can you believe it?
Tell me more.
Yes, I think we'll probably incorporate like a little bit of yoga, so like, you know, this type of stuff. And yep. There we go, yes. GMI is going to be amazing next week, and we're all going to walk out of the studio feeling so relaxed and so zen, so make sure you tune in.
If you want to feel zen, tune in.
This year's homecoming weekend saw a bit of an unorthodox start. Campus streets were empty as the 2018 University of Illinois Homecoming Parade was canceled last Friday. A mixture of rain, sleet, and the first snowfall of the year led to the annual event being scrapped. The parade has been a staple of homecoming, which is celebrated for the 108th time this year. If you missed the festivities, mark your calendar for next year. Homecoming week will begin on October 13th, 2019.
You know, Phil, are you wondering if the snow will continue this upcoming weekend? Let's find out your full forecast with UI7's Dylon Hopp.
All right, good afternoon. I'm Dylon Hopp with your UI7 weather. Let's take a look at these colder temperatures. All right, we got 59 in Champaign-Urbana. That's the hottest in this local area, but it really doesn't get much better, or much worse than that, sorry. You'll see 57 in Rantoul, 54 in Danville. Over in Bloomington, normal, 55, Decatur, 55. Same sort of temperature in this area. And even looking at the Midwest, we're not seeing much variance. You look at Des Moines, it's 65, a little bit better. Kansas City, 64. St. Louis, 58. But even moving over to Chicago, we'll see 56. Indianapolis, 57. It's all in those 50s. It's only getting colder from here, folks. Look at the weather tonight. Tonight's going to be 38 degrees and mostly clear. And this is a pretty stark difference from the 2 weeks ago when we were experiencing those 80s. So y'all definitely want to bring more than just a windbreaker tonight. A heavier jacket would definitely do. You see those south-southwest winds of 6 miles per hour, so not too bad there. And tomorrow, pretty much the same thing. No change in the temperature, very little change in the wind speed, and it's going to be partly cloudy. So again, you'll want to have that heavier jacket because the whole day is going to be a lot colder. It's going to be like tonight is. You can take a look at that 5-day forecast. We can see that today is 59 with the low of 38 and pretty open skies. Tomorrow clouds up a little bit with 56 and 44 as the low. And on Saturday, once again, some pretty open skies, 58 degrees, low of 29, the coldest of the week. Sunday, not much change, 51 and 34. And on Monday, 61. Clouds are going to be a little bit coverage, but not too bad. It's the warmest of the week, although the low is 37. So with that said, I'm Dylon Hopp with the UI7 weather, and tune in next week.
Thanks, Dill.
Our sports anchor, Peyton Wesner, is here to my left with a preview of the latest in sports. Peyton, what's going on the field?
We got a lot of great stuff. Thank you very much, first off. Today on the Wesner wrap-up, Phil, well, we'll take a look at the upcoming showdowns for Fighting Illini football as well as the Chicago Bears. Plus, Major League Baseball's postseason is ramping up. Who is inching closer towards the World Series? I'll have that answer and much more after the break.
Erica, what's up? How are you?
Addie, I'm so stressed right now.
Oh my gosh, what's wrong?
I have so many midterms next week.
Midterm
There's
season.
Just so much going on. Yeah, midterm season.
The stress
Full
is
swing.
real. You know what you should do?
Yeah. What?
You should watch GMI next Friday. It's all going to be about stress relieving tactics since it's midterm season right now. Can you believe it?
Tell me more.
Yes, I think we'll probably incorporate like a little bit of yoga, so like, you know, this type of stuff. And yep. There we go. Yes. GMI is going to be amazing next week, and we're all going to walk out of the studio feeling so relaxed and so zen. So make sure you tune in.
If you want to feel zen, tune in.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Welcome back. I'm Peyton Wesner, and this is the Wesner Wrap-Up. The pursuit for Fighting Illini football's first bowl game since 2015 will hit the road on Saturday. Illinois is looking to bounce back after being steamrolled by the Purdue Boilermakers, 46-7 on homecoming. To return to their winning ways, the Fighting Illini will have to do something not yet accomplished during Lovie Smith's tenure, defeat the Wisconsin Badgers. Coach Smith says he hopes to see further improvement from his team against the Big Ten powerhouse.
Last year we played them better for most of the game. We still weren't able to finish the game though. And hopefully this third year we'll see even better results.
Illinois has lost 21 straight contests against opponents ranked in the Associated Press's top 25 poll. The Fighting Illini's last victory came on September 17, 2011. After an offensive outburst on South Beach, the Chicago Bears will need to regroup before welcoming five-time Super Bowl champion Tom Brady and the New England Patriots to Soldier Field. Chicago is coming off a heartbreaking 31 overtime loss to the Dolphins on Sunday. The Bears' defense had no answer for Dolphins quarterback Brock Osweiler, who threw for a career-high 380 passing yards. The Patriots enter with quite possibly the National Football League's most prolific offense, having scored at least 38 points each of the last 3 weeks. Thus, defense will be a key for the Bears to win the Super Bowl 20 rematch. With a 3-2 record after 6 weeks, the Bears are still off to their best start since 2013. Now over to the Sandlot. Major League Baseball's postseason is in full swing, and unlike the Champaign-Urbana weather, the action in the National League Championship Series is heating up. Wednesday was possibly the last game at Chavez Ravine for the Los Angeles Dodgers this season. But with Clayton Kershaw on the mound, Los Angeles was able to pull within one game of back-to-back World Series appearances. The series will return to Miller Park in Milwaukee for the remaining 2 games. The Brewers must win on Friday to force a decisive 7th game. Moving to the American League, the Boston Red Sox and Houston Astros are engaged in an old-fashioned standoff deep in the heart of Texas. Minute Maid Park was rocking on Thursday night with Houston trailing 2-1. However, the defending World Series champions were unable to contain Boston's bats, falling for a 3rd consecutive game. The final scheduled game from Houston will be played tonight at 7:09 p.m. That's it for your Wesner wrap-up. I'll now throw it over to Joseph Longo with today's entertainment update. Joe?
Thanks, Peyton. Now we're nearing the end of October, which means the Oscar race is in full swing. And you can get a jump start this weekend with several new films hitting theaters. First up is The Hate U Give, based on the YA novel of the same name. The film follows Amanda Stenberg, a teen who, after witnessing the fatal shooting of her childhood best friend, becomes an activist and stands up to police brutality. The film co-stars Regina Hall, Russell Hornsby, and Issa Rae, and it's a must-see for both parents and teens alike.
What did you say you do?
Well, that's a secret.
Now, on the flip side is The Old Man and the Gun, which is Robert Redford's sorta, but not really swan song. He plays an elderly bank robber who's at the end of his career, aka he's an old man with a gun. And rounding out your entertainment news, here's my pick of the week. Melissa McCarthy stars in the new biopic, Can You Ever Forgive Me?
I'm embellishing literary letters by prominent writers.
It's about a writer turned forger, Lee Israel. And McCarthy, she's receiving major Oscar buzz for her role, which I caught this weekend at the Chicago Film Festival. And while she won't be a major threat to Lady Gaga, who's the frontrunner for Best Actress, McCarthy's tender-hearted yet wry performance is not one to miss. And that's what you need to see this week. I'm Joe Longo with your entertainment news. Now back to you at the anchor desk.
Thanks, Joe, for the update. Speaking of entertainment, check this out. Never underestimate the power of a snack. California authorities used Doritos to corral a runaway pig. You heard it right. The swine, described as the size of a mini horse, was spotted in a San Bernardino neighborhood over the weekend. The Dorito is hard to see, but it is there. Quick-thinking deputies grabbed the chips from a lunch bag and made a trail for the pig to follow. Lucky for them, he was hungry, and soon enough, the pig was safe and sound back home. Does anybody else love Doritos as much as that pig?
I'll tell you what, Cool Ranch Doritos are my favorite.
Cool Ranch? I might have to agree with you there.
I like the hot ones.
The spicy chili are the only vegan ones. Did you know that?
Wow. I wonder if that pig was eating those.
Yeah, you know, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I think he was.
I wish I could answer that for you. I wish I could
take a look back
answer
at that video later.
For more of our stories, give us a like on Facebook or follow us at Twitter at UI7 News.
And to get the most up-to-date news, subscribe to our YouTube channel. So, this Halloween holiday, guys, what is everybody dressing up as?
Oh, I'm gonna dress warm because I know it's gonna be cold this Halloween. I mean, I'm expecting to be in the 30s, so.
The 30s. Should we do like a group costume Power Rangers?
Yes, I like it with coats on though.
I call yellow as long as I can be yellow.
I'll be red.
I was gonna say yellow or red.
I'll be orange.
Peyton?
I think maybe I'll stick to something baseball related. After all, the World Series is fast approaching.
Fast approaching. Okay, I'll tell you what. We'll do a Power Ranger with a baseball jersey.
A Texas Ranger.
That'll work.
That wraps up tonight's edition of UI7 News. Did you guys have a good time on this news break?
I really enjoyed it.
The whole thing. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week with more of your top stories.